What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode of Ludus, we are celebrating 200 subscribers, baby. I honestly didn't think that would ever happen. It's been a little over a year since I started the channel. I've been humbled by the fact that people actually enjoy watching my videos. It intrigues me, it perplexes me, it does everything under the clear blue sky except for punch me in the face. So when I reach 1,000 subscribers, that's when it'll punch me in the face. Hopefully a knockout blow. But until then, I'm sitting high on a 200 subscriber channel, and that makes me so happy. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you to all my bourbon family from Bourbon and Booty in the WWE Champions realm that helped me start this channel. Thank you to Black Knight and the Ludus developers for giving me another game and platform to work with, or another game to work with, I should say. And to everybody who's subscribed and everyone who's helped support this channel growing, I greatly appreciate every single one of you. And here's hoping for another fantastic year, another 100 subscribers, and just continuing to move forward. With all that said, let's get into Ludus. Ludus has the Astral Rift once again, and in that Astral Rift lies the princess. She is level 9 for me. I am trying to get her to level 10 so I can do a video about her. Unfortunately, this video is not about Princess. It is about having fun. It's my fun lineup because this new season has started. New Astral Rift, new season. It's time to have a little bit of fun. So, Princess is omnifactional for another 98 days, just like every other Astral hero. We get a little over 3 months worth of fun with omnifactional Astral cards. Her health is 8 million at level 9. Her damage is 230,000. Her attack speed is 1 second. Her melee range, or her attack range is melee. Whoopsie. And her movement speed is medium. She gets on her horse and rides across the board. I know that says gallop, but I hear get on your horse and ride. That's what goes on there. Gallops across the board towards an enemy, trampling enemies in her path, dealing 248,000 damage and stunning them for 1 second. She arrives with a mighty slam, dealing 272,000 damage to nearby enemies and stunning them for 2 seconds. Once per round, the princess rises from the dead with 50% of max HP. Now, I know what you're thinking to yourself, well, Jeff, why not just run it in your lineup right now? It's a new season. You can do whatever you want. It's one perk. She's got the 3 great perk slots that I adore in a card. Iron Tony is one of my mains because of the perks that he can get. You can get an offensive perk, you can get a defensive or offensive perk, and then you can get a defensive perk. Like, it's pretty great. You have attack and defense, and then defense. It's pretty fantastic. Since she's a melee specialist, what I plan on doing, if I can get her to level 13, is I do plan on slapping on Bulwark there to increase her health. I plan on putting on Onslaught onto her just because she's going over the opposing side and the dodge chance needs to be higher. And then for the circle, haven't figured out yet whether I want to make it an offensive one, or I guess now with her perk is defense. So you have offense, defense, offense, defense, offense, defense. Technically, this one's only for Scorched Earth, and I don't like Scorched Earth, so at least for my lineup. For everybody else, I highly recommend it. Princess's perk is Irresistible Charms. When receiving the round's first damage, the hero charms the attacker for 1.9 seconds. That's at level 19. It only continues to rise after that, making them switch sides. At level 20, charmed enemy takes 30% more damage. At level 60, charmed enemy's damage bonus is increased to 100%, and at level 100, charmed enemy can immediately use their ability. If I'm going to analyze this and I'm going to critique it, which technically being a content creator for Ludus, I have to critique a little bit. I would honestly say on paper, this looks like a very, very good thing. We all know between the Morbid Charm faction buff week and Succubus, we do know that charming an enemy can be very beneficial. It's just like playing Magic or Marvel Snap or any other card game that you can take the opponent's cards and use it against them. 99% of the time it works out really well because it throws them off. The problem that I see with this, and That's only off the base is what I'm seeing. I got to get it to level 60 before I can see how many seconds it is. I guess where I'm getting at is at level 100 is when it's going to be the most beneficial, because at level 100 they can immediately use their ability. So ultimately, if you're able to get a Griffin, a Kitsune, Iron Tony, a Muerta is fantastic. If you can get a Muerta because the landmine went, or she has a landmine and it goes off and she immediately gets charmed, hits her ability, you're getting 3 bodies for the price of 1 right there. That's pretty awesome. But you gotta you gotta place it correctly. At level 99 and below, you're really risking them going and hit or attacking, doing their damage to their teammates, and then the charm wearing off right before their ability goes off. So you have a 50-50 chance of the ability affecting your opponent or your side of the board versus theirs. Same thing with Succubus, same thing with Morbid Charm. So it's just something to keep in mind. Buyer beware kind of thing. But I do plan on using it. I have it up to level 19 now. I've been leveling all of my perks and increasing those, but I do have some that are taking priority over charms. Since I don't spend a whole heck of a lot of money on Ludus, I have more priorities before charm or before the new stuff hits. Like Pyromaniac, I'm still working up. Shield of Faith, I'm still working up. Ray of Light, you can see below here, I'm still working up. Like there's a whole lot, there's a lot of perks I gotta take to Epic first before I can get to Irresistible Charms. But by the time I get to here, I'm hoping that I can have a better understanding of the perk, so I can do a video for that and tell you guys what I really think of it. But outside of that, on paper, this looks really, really strong. Looks really, really good. It will be a nuisance and a half during Morbid Charm Week, especially if it's Legion of Darkness and you have Succubus. If you have Succubus, Irresistible Charms, and then Morbid Charms on top of that, you have an entire charm list lineup that will ultimately use your opponent's deck against themselves. So something to look out for. It's a fun little concept that I think will bear some fruit in the future. So for today's lineup going into the Astral Rift, we have a triple, I'm putting this in air quotes, triple tank meta. So we have Jelly Knight. Jelly Knight is wonderful. I have him at level 12 now. I'm grabbing every single copy of his that I can to get him to level 13. I want the double square. I want him to be the tankiest jelly boy in the entire world. Basically how I'm looking at it is come level 13, I want to do Bulwark, I want to do Lightning Reactor, and I want Ray of Light. So that way Iron Tony can go and have Shield of Faith, Aqua Vitae, and Pyromaniac. Since I don't have Unity and I haven't found Chief yet, I'm really just kind of leaning into a offensive tanky kind of build for the future, because I'm kind of, unless the Rune Hunt bears me some actual fruit of really good cards, I don't plan on capping it ever. So I'm just going, or not, I shouldn't say capping it. I don't plan on ever leaderboarding Rune Hunt anymore, because it just gets too hard after League 9. But for right now, where I'm sitting, I'd like to just go knock out my Rune Hunt and then use my actual grinding lineup, which is this for right now. It'll change as time goes on, but it's kind of a mini token build. We have Muerta at max level finally, and her health sits at 7.4 million. Her damage is 504,000. Her attack speed is 1.5 seconds. And her crit now is at 1.3 million. All the stats are now max, which is pretty great. But for her perks, we're going Landmine, Scorched Earth, and Deadly Swamp. Now, I could go and switch off Scorched Earth or Shield of Faith, but I'm trying to get myself comfortable in the knowledge that Scorched Earth is going to have to sit on Muerta as Jelly Knight. In this particular lineup, as Jelly Knight and Iron Tony are going to be taking the shield perks. So having her be offensive is good. Now, Brewmaster did get a perk, but I'm not really interested in that perk just yet. But once I get it unlocked, once I get it leveled up and stuff like that, I'll do a video about that as well. On Pirate Queen, we have High Explosives, Sharknado, and Eldritch Horror. For Iron Tony, we've got Lightning Reactor, Aqua Vitae, and Pyromaniac. And then for Griffin, we've got Onslaught, Tech Golem Armor Plating, and Soul Harvest. makes it a pretty good thing. And the reason why I say it's triple tanky is Griffin is an absolute tank and a half, with Soul Harvest and Onslaught being on there, and his combat boost giving him more health per each kill. And then you have obviously Iron Tony and Jelly Knight as your quote unquote tanks. So let's get into our 3 fights, see what comes of it. Wow, that was fast for Fedor. I'm just gonna fight this. I'm sick and tired of backing out of fights, especially in the Astral Rift. There's a possibility I could win. I'm really getting sick and tired of seeing red perks. I don't have any red perks. Yes, I have a max card. Yes, I have some legendary perks, but ultimately I should be facing bots with full legendary lineups if I'm fighting anything at all. That's bot related. I should be fighting bots that have just legendary. That's really that's where my mind is sitting, and it's gonna sit for a long time. That's really what I should be fighting. We just kind of wasted the whole Pirate Queen over here. But with the buff being with the faction buff being the prowess buff this week, you kind of just go all in on the ones that are part of that faction. So all Astral heroes. There, then we'll go there. We're gonna try and set up our landmines in our 2 primary locations and then build off of that, which looks like we're gonna get there pretty darn quick. Luckily, we have PQ being able to go wherever PQ needs to go. That's pretty great. Now, if we start running into a big brick wall here, vis-a-vis their damage is outdoing us pretty drastically, we're going to wind up putting Muerta right here or right here. But for right now, I want to switch, I want to have them separated into their proper channels because of things like this right here. Now we're able to actually keep them in both locations and not feel punished, which is pretty freaking fantastic. Go there, we'll go there, we'll go there, and we'll go there. Then we'll go here, then we'll go here. Double landmine set, one of our Muertas supered. We are ready to go. Luckily for this fight, we've got ahead of them on supers from the rip, so hopefully we can try and we can hack away at it a little bit better. I don't know why my anxiety just shot through the freaking roof right now. That was crazy. Ooh, give me just a second here. Anxiety shot up for some weird reason, but that's okay. So ultimately, who do we need to fear? Oh, we need to fear Jack and Griffin. I don't know, man. Yeah, we're done. We're already dead. There's nothing we can do here. I hate these situations. Because at a certain point, you really start questioning whether it's you or it's the deck. I don't think it's the deck. I think the deck's pretty solid. I think what I've got set up here is pretty great. Oh, I forgot Eldritch Horror is on Pirate Queen. I shouldn't have put her on that edge. That's probably where I messed up. Probably. I think that's where I messed up. But at the same end of the stick, I was really hoping that Pirate Queen being on that end would help us, but no, it's not. It's over and done with. If you have 3 red perks and you fight somebody who has no red perks, you're automatically going to win. Like, there's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You will win. So, if you're new to the game and you are like, well, what do I need to do to be the best in the world at this game? Spend money. Spend money. Get all the cards that you can to level 15 that have really good offensive perks. Max out those perks. Three of them should be just fine. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red perks, and we got destroyed the second they turn out. And we have more might than they do. Okay. Alrighty, so that was fight number 1. Let's go into fight number 2. Alrighty, today, 1 red perk. I guess I can live with that. It's an unstoppable tech golem for 7 seconds, but now there is a hesitation within me right at this moment about this fight because of the fact Tech Golem is the greatest counter to Jelly Knight and Muerta. The reason I say that is at Supered, Tech Golem gets that wonderful little upgrade to his ability, which is the deflection shield. That deflection shield, once it becomes active, it basically wipes out all of Jelly Knight's slime and all of Muerta's skeletons. And Muerta does not charge up fast enough for her to overwhelm him super quickly. Jelly Knight doesn't have energy, so basically it's crapshooting whether or not he's going to get his slime or not. Wow, those angels really kept that Griffin alive for a minute there. But he shall fall to my will. Go, Jelly Knight, go. I love Jelly. Jelly and Tony, two of my very favorite tanks. I'm excited to get Jelly Knight to level 13. It's not the cap level, and he doesn't have a perk, but hey, I'm all in on him. I love him. Same thing with Muerta. I'm waiting for the day Muerta gets a perk, because I'm curious as to what it's going to be. I'm curious if we're going to get a tomb that drops out skeletons. I'm curious if they're going to go a completely different route with her. I don't know. It's who's to say. I'm really curious on it. I'm really hoping it's a fear one too. I'm hoping it's skeletons that give fear. That would be sick. I would play that a lot. And that's kind of where the route's going. What it seems to be on my end is I'm just waiting for the day of Muerta perk drops so I can get a red perk for once. Getting up to level 15 is actually extremely difficult unless you're willing to spend the money, which 99% of the time when I get the offer to upgrade my level 14 heroes to level 15 off of the special upgrade offer that they give, 99% of the time it's after I've already spent my allowance for gaming on the game and it just popped up way too late, or I wait and it doesn't pop up giving me the cards I need. So we're just gonna make an overpowered Muerta right now. That's just kind of how this goes. I want to end this fight right here, right now. Today is not going to survive. We all know this. This is the reason why I'm talking and not showing the gameplay not talking about the gameplay, because he's done. He done and over with. Yes, he does have a tech on, but no, it's not even worth his time and patience. That was quick. It is one extreme to the next on this Astral Rift. I kid you not. I either get slammed into the ground and curb stomped by max red perk lineups, or I get something like this that ends in just a few minutes. It's back and forth. It's hot and it's cold. There is no in between. Fight number 3. Let's get into it. Alrighty, fight number 3 is against Gogi. This is going to be a good fight. This is an actual person. They have a pretty decent lineup of perks going. 2 legendaries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 epics. Couple of rares, 1 uncommon and 1 common. So it's either going to go really, really good or really, really bad, depending on A, my Muerta placement, and B, if he pops off faster. So I guess we're about to find out what kind of wild ride we're about to go on. And no, its name is not Mr. Toad. Okay. I love fighting Braveheart. I think they're still top 3. I want to say they're top 3 still. They may or may not be. I don't know. Times keep changing on that leaderboard. He did get Griffin to max level first. What's your Griffin rocking today, buddy? Shield of Faith and Onslaught. Interesting combo. Allowing for that squish to be up front and center until the ability triggers. That's pretty nice. I can give you that. I'm not liking the positioning of Jelly Knight right now. I kind of wish he was more up to the front. So I'm going to leave these 3 spaces available right now. I'm going to probably take an L here because of no super, but I kind of want to get Muerta right here. And I want to get at least Jelly Knight or Iron Tony in that spot. We're too much on the back line right now, and that's not a good thing. I don't like being on the back line. I like everything being on the front 2 rows, if at all possible. Keeps them kind of close together. It is playing a little close to the chest. We're going to go with the Restore Health for Griffin, because that and Soul Harvest is just broken. Ah, that is beautiful. Now, the question lies. No, it doesn't. We go right there. We want Muerta in that position. There she is. Thank you. You get patient, you ask, and you shall receive. We have Muerta in multiple locations that are going to benefit drastically, so that's good. We can now super out our Jelly Knight. We do have Iron Tony in another great location. Everything is coming up green for us. Look at that. So we have Jelly Knight in an ideal location, Griffin in an ideal location, PQ in an ideal location. Just all works out right there. Our front line is on the front line right where they need to go, and he is not going to survive this fight now. We have locked in to our best locations, and we are just going to run roughshod. Now we have double landmine, so we are more than golden. This fight is over. Whew. Unfortunately, this fight could have been better, but it is what it is. We had that one fight that ultimately we stomped him into the ground and got handed 2 more fights that could stomp us into the ground. I did not realize that I could have supered Iron Tony in that last fight. I should have done that, but I just didn't. Bring that over there. Let's keep that there. We're going to keep these 2 from being supered. There's really no real reason outside of going just overpowered with Muerta. She's doing enough damage with both of those landmines right now that it's just beating a dead horse putting one over here. So we can wait out, see if another one pops up. If it does, great. If it doesn't, we're fine. If this was a more difficult fight, if say it was a full legendary lineup, then yeah, I would probably be more dedicated into maxing it out. But it's the end of the fight. Might as well. It's over and done. We have Eldritch Horror hitting 2 columns. We have Landmine right where all of his supers are. There's just no coming back. Boom goes the dynamite. That was a wonderful fight sequence. I was very pleased with all of that. I know my commentary is a little back and forth, but I'm trying very, very hard to find the positive in everything in this game right now. We've hit this speed bump in Ludus where it is... Can you be competitive? No? Okay. Well, do I need to kill the competitive side of me to continue enjoying the game, or do I need to continue being frustrated over the fact I can't be competitive? One of the things I'm trying to do mentally, not only for Ludus, but in life itself, is I'm trying to see the positive in everything, weigh out the pros and cons, accept the negative that comes at me, accept the fact that I cannot change that negative, but what I can do is I can put a different spin on it to observe it in a different manner. Similar to that meme or picture that you see of someone looking at a 6 and then another person saying it's a 9 because they're on the other side, and that's the different vision or the different perception. That's kind of what I'm trying to apply to Ludus and life right now, is I can look at it as what it is a shitstorm, or I can go and try and get on the other side of the fan and realize that it's just a fan that's getting shit poured into it, and I was just standing in front of it in the wrong section. So for anybody who is playing Ludus, for anybody who is frustrated with Ludus, just know you are not alone in being frustrated about the matchmaking. Just know that you are not alone in your frustrations over not being able to climb as efficiently as we were able to before. But I invite you to join me on the other side of the fan and just enjoy the fights that you can enjoy. And when you run into those impossible bots, kind of take it with laughter, I guess. Look at it, laugh, and just say, bye! Concede out. Go into another fight. It's a grind, but eventually you will reach where you need to reach. It's just going to take you a little bit longer than most. So just enjoy the climb. And with all of that said, I'm going to leave you the same way I always do. Life can be fun if you allow it to be. We'll see you next time.